Hello and welcome back. This is episode 2 of working on the Nissan Silvia S15 daily driver. For this episode we're going to be concentrating on getting the rear end of this all as it should be. So that is getting the diff completely rebuilt, getting some new suspension put back into this thing and the new brakes on. Also we have a set of wheels and tyres which are going to go on this and finish the look of the car exactly how we want to go. We've already rolled the arches, so that is now absolutely perfect. It is micro thin, so spot on. We're going to have no problems with the tyres and wheels that we have got to go on this, so happy days. In the meantime, Ian is outside sorting some various bits and pieces for the car as well. Also got the rear end all taken off and all cleaned up underneath the bumper, and this side is about to be put in etch primer and then stone chipped and bits and pieces sorted on here. So this is all going to be absolutely immaculate underneath, as you need to do with any S body / R body that you're ever going to want to own in your life. Yeah, overall it's actually really nice condition under here. Very happy with it. So how's it looking, Ian?
I'd like to say this side's done.
Looking very nice, very pretty.
Yeah.
Hey. All protected, any grime taken off, and back to a state where it's going to stay like that for a little while now. It's going to be able to live like that without rusting out completely. That's us, as we know, all Nissans love to do. Happy days. Still got to change the brakes over on this and what have you yet, but we'll probably get to that on the next episode, I think. Anyway, to the other side. But before we get to the other side, we've had a lovely delivery there. Look at that, brand new BCs. Very happy. That's going to change out the knocking, leaking suspension that was on there. So let's get those fitted as well then. What's going on here then, Ian?
I'm attempting to strip a diff.
Attempting, I like it.
So far so good. Gonna have to give that a bit of a tap, so if you hold her, if you could hold the other end, mate.
So in other words, put the camera down, do some work.
Put the camera down. Come on.
So, for those of you who don't know, this is how you change the LSD. Famous last words, it should be nice and simple.
Famous last words.
What could go wrong on a Friday?
Just get ready for that lovely smell.
Careful not to break the gasket. There we go.
That's alright.
BEA, beautiful.
Yeah.
And here we have a lovely open LSD. Open LSD? Open diff.
Rubbish.
Yeah, very much so. It is junk, which is why we're taking this one out and putting the LSD that we've got, which is a CAS 2-way. That's what's been advertised as when I brought it, so fingers crossed that should be the one. Anyway, back to the time lapse. And here we have the difference between one open diff and one LSD. You can see the open diff here with all the open gears, and the LSD of the plates in there. It's going to drive much nicer after that, I hope. Okay, so as you can see, I've actually done quite a few little bits and pieces to this. I got the front splitter on, I've started attacking the front bumper where the damage was. I wasn't going to bother with that, to be honest, but whilst I was there doing the splitter, it was literally like in my face, so I couldn't say no. Front wheels are now on, front suspension's all set up. Now about to get the side skirt extensions to go with the front splitter. So happy days. Let's just smash it on, because as you can see it's wet and I'm going to get soaked doing this. I'm not looking forward to it, but once it's done, it's done. On a plus side though, if we have a look at some fitment, since this side's fully compressed, look at that. How nice and tight is that? Perfect. This is a Spec S, so the brakes on this are teeny tiny. They're basically the same as the S13, CA18, and even the SR20s came in the same single pot calipers on the front, and that is not going to be good enough for what I have planned for this in the distant future. So I've got a full SKYLINE brake set to go on this thing. Not the rears today because I'm still waiting on a few bits and pieces to do with that, but we'll do that in another video. But for now, we're going to throw the fronts on and I'll show you how easy it is to do the front SKYLINE brake conversion on these things. And here is what we will be replacing: teeny tiny single pot calipers and little discs. As you see, everything on the inside already undersealed, stone chipped, complete with chips of stones. Excellent. BC coilovers are on. Everything is undersealed nicely. It's just how it should be. Excellent, although I didn't do a little patch just over there. Missed a bit. But anyway, let's get these calipers off and start the process. I have actually just been out in this, so things are rather warm. Schoolboy error. By the way, that's not the correct way to use a spanner or your hand as a hammer, but it gets the results I need. Excellent. Let's just speed this process up for you, shall we? Alrighty, that's the disc and the caliper off. Currently just hanging there off the brake line, which is going to be replaced for a braided item. As you can see as well, on this back plate, you have this lip. Now the disc sits into that quite nicely. Now I want to keep this back plate as it is a bit more of a dust cover sort of scenario and keeps a lot of crap from the back ends of the discs. I want to keep that. So what I'm going to do is cut this outer lip off, because the disc we're going to have fit on there is going to be much bigger diameter, so that's got to disappear. So get grinder, safety goggles, chop them off. And that is one lip chopped off. Absolutely fantastic. I've also done a quick little grind up and clean up. So now what I'm going to do is spray a little bit of this stuff on the back of it, just to stop any more rust coming through a little bit, and call it a day. You're never going to see it, but I know it's there, and given how clean the rest of the car is, it just makes sense to do it. So now that's done, we'll wait for that to go off, but in the meantime, let's get this caliper off. So clip on the brake line there. We're going to undo him back there as well, because I've got to have a conversion brake line for this, going from SKYLINE onto an S body. So we'll get that off, and you can see the comparison between the two then. So this is what we're going to go from this to that. How much better is that? Absolutely fantastic, loving that. That's going to look brilliant on there, and this is nice and simple to do as well. And here we have the difference in size between stock S15 Spec S brakes and R34 GTT brakes. Not a massive difference, but enough to hopefully make a difference on the feel of the pedal and the feel of the brakes. And whilst we're here doing a bit of a show and tell, this is the brake line conversion kit. This is to go from R body to S body. So this is what you're going to need if you're going to convert your S13, 14 or 15 to SKYLINE brakes. I got in contact with GK Tech and they sorted me out with the lines I needed for this. Now, you can get cheaper options on the market, but you get what you pay for, quite frankly, so why not go for the better ones when you have the option to. A few moments later and we're to the point of calipers and discs are now all on. Brake lines are also on, if I can get the light in there. Here we go, all brake line conversions are on. All fits up into that absolutely brilliantly, like honestly, value for money, it is what it is. It is great, it really is good. Around the back, more than happy with that. So that's new discs, new pads, calipers changed, excellent. Ian is now finishing up the other side. How you getting on, Ian?
Yeah, just finished up, mate.
Brilliant. Now going to get to the stage of getting the back end jacked up to get this system bled out, because we're not just putting this on and bleeding the fronts. I've actually got a SKYLINE master cylinder to go on this as well, because when you go from the single cylinder to 4 pots on the front, you just don't have enough displacement in the master cylinder, so you've got to upgrade the master cylinder to easiest option for this, because it's ABS, is to go for a SKYLINE ones and that bolts straight on. So we'll get the back end jacked up, change all the fluid, bleed all the brakes out, put the new master cylinder on with it on, and go from there, and then we should have hopefully fantastic brakes. And here we have a side-by-side comparison of brake master cylinders. Now, as you can see here, the one on the right is Sylvia, the one on the left is SKYLINE. Now to look at them, they look absolutely identical. I mean, it looks like the bore size is the same, brake pipes are in the same, brake masters in the same, sorry, the brake reservoir, that's the word, is in the same place, the same plug that's on this as well from each one. There you go. Turn around for you. So we can look at them and say they are absolutely identical, but the deciding factor is the numbers on the back. Focus is 15, 16 and 1 inch. That's the difference, and that's all I'm going to need extra to be able to give me decent brake pedals. This one, you're going to need to pump it a couple of times before you get a decent brake pedal. This one, it's going to be absolutely spot on first time out the back, which is exactly what I want. This is a daily driver, so it needs to be good. So let's get this one fitted back on. And as simple as that, that is the brake master cylinder now on. All the brakes have been bled out front and rear, so fantastic. And just in case you're wondering why you should change your brake fluid, that's why. Look at the state of that. I mean, it's not going to focus. Come on. Yeah. You wouldn't want to drink that coffee mixture, would you? But that's pretty dire. That's not been changed for some time, so it's a good job we've now got all new brake fluid on this thing. But have a look at that. It looks fantastic, especially in the arch being all nice and clean with the BCs on and everything. I'm really happy with that. Brilliant. So that's it for this episode. Thank you very much for joining me. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. I'll see you again next time.